So Hasan Piker's own fans are very upset at him. They're shocked that this guy's a hypocrite. And it's like, bro, you guys watch him all the time. How do you not know he's a hypocrite? It's like the most obvious thing in the world. Yeah, so what happened is Hasan is over in China, goes to a horse racing event, apparently taking at least the US equivalent of around $3,000 to bet. And now his fans are all infighting. Some are saying this is a bad thing to do, and it's like partaking in animal abuse. Others are defending him, saying it's not a problem. And as mentioned, the whole subreddit began to infight. So check it out. Nick DeOrio here says, Hasan Piker's fans seethe over horse races. Quote, he even read my chat where I asked him not to go and told him it's cruel. That's so frickin' lame. And it's not like they don't have horse racing in California. He could have done that stupid back home if he loves it so much. And now we'll take a look at that picture in the top left right here, because this is another example of Hasan's immense, just overwhelming hypocrisy. Because that picture comes from this tweet that he made yesterday, where he's flaunting, he's trying to flex here the money he has. And so Mr. Oh, I'm so anti-capitalist is here just like flaunting his cash. Mr. Make the Rich Pay, of course, doesn't live up to his own standards. Hasan really should enter a competition for like biggest poser ever, because like I think he might actually win. Like with this picture, he'd definitely be like a top 3, if not, you know, the winner of the whole competition. But back to the horse racing thing, as mentioned, this became a very contentious issue on Hasan's subreddit, with some people criticizing him for partaking in the horse races and others defending him. Ultimately, a top post about this would make the front page of his subreddit and get censored, get removed by the moderators. And look at that mod message. This comment/post has been removed for concern trolling, presenting bad faith arguments or framing that disguises hostility or derailment as concern. Please engage in good faith or refrain from posting. And what were some of the top comments in that post before it got removed? Well, this one, for example, reads, he has a huge blind spot when it comes to animal rights. As he always says, sucks to be right too early. These poor animals get worked to death, and when they can't race anymore, most of them get slaughtered for meat. Don't support animal cruelty. Bro, he has a huge blind spot when it comes to animal rights. Crazy. Like, this person actually says that, and then they end their post by saying don't support animal cruelty, but they still try to find like a double standard where it's okay for them to support Hasan after they said all that other stuff. And the last thing I want to point out is that second sentence where they say, as he always says, sucks to be right too early. What does that have to do with anything else they said, though, in their post? Like, I'm actually confused by why they even put that there. Then there's this comment that says, I do think you have a point that he is getting hype about something that is actually the result of a pretty abusive system. When it comes to stuff like this, Hasan missing the mark on an issue, I try to remind myself that he's only one person. He can't get it right all the time. Maybe at some point he will learn more and come around on this issue. Maybe he won't, but I hope he does. Bro, I was laughing because, like, imagine... Let me just read that part again. I try to remind myself that he's only one person. He can't get it right all the time. That's implying this person thinks that like most of Hasan's takes are right. I mean, that's just crazy. Could you imagine thinking like most of Hasan's points are good? You would have to be like completely brain rotted. Here's some of the infighting more directly, with this person saying, come on, Peter, let's go outside for a bit. You know, implying they disagree with the OP and think they need to go outside. But then this person says, honestly, think if you're reacting to this genuine criticism in such a petty way like that, maybe you should have a look in the mirror first. Then over here, we have Hasan live on his stream, responding to a chatter who's concerned about the horse racing.
Animal racing is incredibly cruel. I used to work in a dog racing at the winning level. Animal racing is bad. I don't know if you know this, but I am a horseback rider. I did professional show jumping. Like I had a horse. I can't speak for dog racing. I'm not entirely familiar with it, but Umamasume's biggest hater, yeah. Until you got fat, respectively, no. Not until I got fat. What is happening here?
All right, there is more to the clip, but let's pause for a second, just for context, for anyone who may not have seen that because the text was so small. Here's like the zoom in. This person was a 39-month subscriber, and Hasan banned them for a week for that comment. And Hasan's pronunciation of Umamusume is crazy. What did he say? He said like Umamasumi, I think he said something like that. Umamasumi. Look, I'm not hating. I mispronounce things all the time. I literally just did right there, including Japanese words. I messed them up too, but I'm just saying that was funny.
What the fuck is going on? You can't just say until he got fat and then slap on respectively at the end of it. I wasn't a jockey. I was a show jumper.
And then he's just kind of like nodding off on the camera for like the next 10, 15 seconds or so. And I'm actually a little bit worried about Hasan. Like the last number of weeks, he just seems like he's getting more and more out of it. And like, especially in this clip, like he just doesn't seem like he's okay. Look, I think he's like a silly dude, but like, I'm a little concerned. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Hopefully he's just tired or something from the traveling. I mean, I think he's been in the same spot at China now for a while, but you know what I mean. From the trip, I should say. And then we've got a clip from the self-professed White Hasan, as Idubbz likes to call himself here. Idubbz, in this clip, in this post rather, titled Idubbz begging his viewers to subscribe. And yeah, like I said before, now that Hasan is also identifying as white, I mean, Idubbz is just completely out of a job. So I guess he really needs to beg his viewers for that subscription money.
Their primes into a tier 1, or actually better yet, so if you're a dedicated stream watcher, if you do a tier 3 or tier 2 sub, that counts for more points. And then you don't have to remember to renew it. I know we always forget to cancel or renew, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we only need it for this month. Getting it, it doesn't really matter what comes after. I can fall off a cliff right after. Doesn't matter. What happens if you get the 3-month streak? It's just a better split on Twitch.
This clip received top comments such as, "The light is completely gone from his eyes." Response reading, "People will study about how he literally became this Wojak thanks to his wife. Scarier than any horror movie these past years." I mean, look, this is a grown man who willingly chose this path, and I mean, what can you say? You can't blame it all on the wife. Even if she does seem, let's just say undesirable, you know, it's also on him. Another comment would elaborate on this whole thing, saying she basically rewired him so that he can be fixed by talking down to him, made him apologize for all his old content that was too edgy, stopped his new content projects and stuff that might be too controversial, went doctor shopping to get him on ADHD, mood medications. Long story short, Idubbz got one-shotted by an OF girl that gave him a modicum of attention. And this is the result, a broken man e-begging on stream. By the way, I think I said modicum like improperly. It goes back to what I said earlier. Feel free to correct me on that. Virtue signals, the comment continues, virtue signals, and make sure he passes every new purity test that his friend group abides by so they can continue being friends. I mean, like, yeah, it's all terrible, but like I said earlier, it is also on him. As I know, there are plenty of men out there who, if there was ever a woman trying to control them like this and do all that stuff to them, they would be like, yeah, no, dude, no, I don't want anything to do with you. But when it comes to Idubbz, you know, I guess he takes notes from Jellywig. The spine's made of jelly. And then there's this comment that says, it's kind of hilarious to see the number of patrons decrease day by day. There's a video on YouTube about his sub count going down over 3 months. His social blade looks brutal. He's bleeding like 20,000 subs per month. All right, that's enough of that, but thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one.